Hey there, everybody. On the left side of the screen, we have Quaver, who is one of two mascots for the 2020 Global Game Jam happening in Nashville, Tennessee from January 31st through February 2nd. Her name is Quaver because her hair is shaped like an eighth note, and the name of that shape is Quaver. And this is update video number 11 for the Nashville Jam site. Let me get that text out of the way so that the living mascot, your organizer, this guy right here, John Gale, can come at you and tell you what is new for update number 11 as we are getting closer and closer to the Global Game Jam on Friday, January 31st. Well, the biggest news of all is that our GoFundMe campaign has reached its goal of $3,500 and actually $1 over. Thank you all so much who came in and donated and sponsored and got this campaign funded, the events funded. I don't have to cut any food or anything out of the budget. We can now have a fully armed and operational jam site for this year's Global Game Jam. So let me get to thanking the people who made this happen. We have individual donors, Daniel Ledford, who came in at the sponsor level. Anonymous donor number 6. I think this is a record number of anonymous donors. I think we had 2 or 3 last year. Now we've got double that. Old Susannah Livengood and John Hellrung, who was the donor that actually kicked the campaign to over its goal. Thank you guys so much for your contributions. This fundraising part is seriously, this is the hardest part of being jam site organizer. This is what's eating 80% of my time. This is what's taking the most energy. This is what keeps me up the most at night, is if we can raise money and pay our bills, huge bills for the venue and to feed everybody. And we've done it again for 2020, and I'm just so thankful to all of the sponsors and individual donors out there who've made it happen. Individual donors like this have raised more than a whole sponsor package. So that shows this whole crowdfunding thing really is working for us. Now, just because we hit the campaign goal does not mean we're necessarily done with the fundraising. You see, Nashville Game Developers is now a non-profit organization. This is actually our first year running the Game Jam as a nonprofit. We've been running it a long time. We've got these t-shirts to prove it. But as the nonprofit organization, this is our first year, and this is our only fundraising activity for the year planned so far. So we really could use extra funding to carry the organization throughout the year. And so we are still collecting individual donations, and we are also still accepting sponsorships at the $125 level. What that level of sponsorship gets you is a slide during the opening and closing presentation, a mention on the NashGameDev social media, and you can put promotional materials at the check-in table at the Game Jam itself to have there all weekend for attendees to pick up. So if you know a business that might want to promote itself to our community, let them know they can go to the GoFundMe and sponsor. I've seen on the Discord a lot of discussion of people saying, hey, I got a new game out, and that's great. That's exactly what we want people in Nashville to do. That's why we hold events like the Game Jam. And if you want some additional plugs and promo for your game, sponsor at this $125 level, and we'll give you a shout out, like we said, during the event and also on social media to help you promote that project of yours. So the GoFundMe will stay open and live throughout the jam until the end of the jam, and people can still make donations to that, and we'll still be giving away t-shirts from previous years as gifts for those donations. So we don't have to stop. We don't have to stop this fundraising energy. Some people suggested we should have put a stretch goal on here, and Nashville Game Developers, we have a lot of big ideas for where we want to take the nonprofit and what we want to do. For example, we really want to have like our own co-working space, and we estimate that could cost about $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year. So there's a stretch goal, $12,000 stretch goal, so that we can have a co-working space where people can focus on making games. So there it is. We'll do it $5 at a time right here to the GoFundMe. Okay, so now that the fundraising problem is solved and I can quit losing sleep about that, it's kind of like working on a game. You know, you had like some sort of major milestone you had to get over, and we've done that now with the fundraising. And so now it's time to focus on the next problem to solve. And from what I see as organizer, that next problem to solve is getting volunteers. We need quite a few number of people to help carry stuff in, get jammers checked in, and clean up, make sure there's no garbage and things around the venue. And right now we've got 4 people signed up to volunteer. Thank you to you 4 people who did sign up to volunteer. So as you can see from this screenshot, we need quite a few more to help, especially during those hectic times of opening and closing and getting things cleaned up. So I'm going to have the link in the video description that you can click on to volunteer. If you need to volunteer to get service hours for school or some sort of project, I'm happy to sign off on those. And I need people to help spread the word now about this, about volunteers, about getting volunteers coming to the game jam. And so let's go get on Twitter and try to get us some volunteers. I've already got my tweet prepared to say, hey, we need some more volunteers out there. And if you're on Twitter, make sure you're using these hashtags: GGJ20, that's the official hashtag of the Global Game Jam. And anytime you're doing something Nashville related that has to do with game development, hashtag NashGameDev. We are watching this and we know who's tweeting, who's excited about the game jam, who's releasing new stuff, who's coming to the work meets. And that's what I think is so advantageous to being a volunteer, is it's a great networking activity. And if you're someone and you think, oh, I don't have any skills and I don't think I can do anything for game development, first of all, everyone is welcome to participate in the Global Game Jam, no matter what your discipline and no matter what your skill level. And also, if you volunteer, you're putting yourself right in the middle of the more active members of the community who could help mentor you and teach you those skills that you're looking for. So you may just think it's like, oh, carrying a box or whatever, but it could lead to that networking of people who can help you gain the skills and connections that you need. So with all that said, we're going to tweet that out. I'm at Mr. John Sensei, and at NashGameDev is the Nashville game developer Twitter, and you can see what type of activity we're up to. Okay, and like I said, anyone is welcome to participate in the Global Game Jam. What we need you to do, though, is register to participate in the event. We need everyone who's going to be on site participating to register on this Eventbrite page. Link will be in the video description, as always. And the reason we ask people to register is because we need to count them for food and for how many people we had there. And we need you to legally agree to abide by the code of conduct that is set forth by the Global Game Jam. And anyone under the age of 18 needs to be accompanied by a parent or guardian at all times. So that's a way we can check ages and make sure that we've got that rule covered. So go get registered if you have not already. I'm recording this January 20th, so we're 11 days away from the Global Game Jam. You can register on site, but just get it out of the way. It makes the check-in process a whole lot smoother. So that's all I've got for this video. Video updates are going to be coming more frequently as we get closer to the Global Game Jam. Have lots of information coming up about parking and the check-in procedure and all of that. So make sure that you're tuning in on the Nashville Game Developers social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of these future updates. And I will see you again in one of those updates later on.